What's up, everybody? WiseGuyBets here with some picks for you for DraftKings main slate. Today is Friday, 7/30/2021. We got 15 games on the slate. Let's get right into it and look at the pitcher position. At pitcher, I'm looking at Jameson Taillon for New York Yankees. His projection on that is 18.1 fantasy points. He's pitching around 5 innings per game. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, is 14, 18, and 22. He's 8,700 on DraftKings. The Marlins are 7 for 27 against him, batting .259. Very low run projection tonight is 7.5. His last 3 against Miami is 0, 0, 0, 17, and 13. His last 5 overall has been 8, 33, 14, 18, and 22. I think he meets his 18.1 projection and probably gives 20 points tonight. I especially like him for that salary. So let's look at the catcher position. At catcher, I like Mike Zanino for Tampa Bay. His projection on that is 6.3 fantasy points. He's getting around 3 at-bats per game. He's only batting .193. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, is 3, 2, and 4. He does average 7 on the season. His salary is $4,200. He's batting 7 for 24 against the pitcher he's facing with 3 home runs. That's one of the main reasons I'm taking. He has 3 home runs and 24 at-bats against this pitcher. He's batting .292 overall against the pitcher he's facing. His last 5 against Boston are 20, 2, 7, 0, and 18. Again, his last 5 overall hasn't been that well. 2, 5, 3, 2, and 4. I can see this a game where he comes out of his slump. Mike Zanino is someone I'm looking to get into my lineups tonight at the catcher position. Let's look at first base. At first base, I'm looking at Jake Cronenworth for San Diego. His projection on night is 9.4 fantasy points. He's batting .277 on each season. He's getting around 3.8 at-bats per game. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, is 12, 5, and 16. He's 4,400 on DraftKings. He's batting 5 for 10 against the pitcher he's facing with 3 singles, 2 triples. His last 5 against Colorado is 14, 14, 3, 8, and 16. He's playing very well against Colorado, and Jake Cronenworth is someone I want to get in my lineups tonight at the first base position. Let's look at second base. At second base, I'm looking at Dylan Moore for Seattle. His projection on the night is 9.3 fantasy points. He's only batting .185 on the season. He's getting around 3.1 at-bats per game. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, is 20, 0, and 2. He's 3,900 on DraftKings. He's 2 for 4 against the pitcher he's facing. 1 double, 1 home runs. His last 5 against Texas is 12, 5, 0, 0, 0. Don't like that. His last 5 overall is 0, 2, 20, 0, and 2. I like his matchup for the night. I like his salary. This is pretty much a value pick for me. I think he meets his projection of 9.3. His projection is pretty high because they're probably seeing what I'm seeing, and he does have success against this pitcher, and it's in a good spot for him. So I think he meets his projection of 9.3 fantasy points tonight. So Dylan Moore is someone I want to get into my lineup at the second base position. Let's look at the third base position. I'm going with Manny Machado again. I went with Manny Machado last night. He only got me 5 fantasy points. But I'm going with him again tonight. His projection tonight is 10.7 fantasy points. And again, he's in a position to do very, very well. He's batting .278 on the year. He's getting around 3.6 at-bats per game. His last 3 games, fantasy point-wise, is 21, 5, and 5. He's averaging 9 fantasy points on the season. He's 4,900 on DraftKings. Against the pitcher he's facing tonight, he's batting 300, 5 singles, 1 double, 3 home runs. Makes great contact against this pitcher. I think he's in a position to do well. The overrun total projection is 8.5. His last 5 against Colorado is 14, 14, 0, 0, and 5. I think he's in position to come out tonight. I really thought he would do it last night, but he only got 5 fantasy points. But I think tonight he easily exceeds the 10.7 projected fantasy points that he is projected to get. So Manny Machado is someone I'm definitely trying to get into my lineup tonight at the third base position. Let's look at the shortstop position. At shortstop, I'm going with Dansby Swanson for Atlanta. His projection on that is 7.5 fantasy points. He has 18 homers on the season. He's batting .243. He's getting around 3.8 at bats per game. His last 3 games, fantasy point wise, is 16, 3, and 14. He's averaging 7 fantasy points on the season. His salary is $3,800 against the Milwaukee pitcher he's facing. He's 3 for 3, 1 single, 2 home runs. So definitely he's been hitting this pitcher well in a limited sample size. His last 3 against Milwaukee is 2, 2, 4, 2, and 17. I think he meets his projection of 7.5 tonight and does a lot better. The game is in Atlanta. I like Mr. Swanson tonight at the shortstop position. Let's look at the outfield. In the outfield, I'm looking at Nelson Cruz. His projection on night is 9.4 fantasy points. He has 21 homers on the season. He's batting .284. He's getting around 3.5 at bats per game. His last 3 games, fantasy point wise, is 16, 2, 0. Like him because he's coming off of 0. He's 5,700, a little pricey. If you're going to play him, I think he has to be a core play. He's 9 for 30 against the pitcher he's facing. 5 singles, 1 double, 3 home runs. I definitely like that. The over-under run projection is 9, so I think he'll come to the plate 4 to 5 times a night. His last 5 against Boston's 5, 0, 0, 7, 3. Don't like those numbers too well, but I like the pitcher he's facing. I like the position he's in. But Nelson Cruz is still someone I'm looking to get into my lineups in the outfield tonight. I think he beats his projection tonight and has a very good night. So those are my picks for today. If my picks help you, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It would be greatly appreciated. By subscribing to my channel, that allows me to continue to create this quality content that I be creating on a daily basis and provide more videos to everyone who watches. Until the next video, peace.